My name is Derek Christopher Robert Boe. At this time I have been alive for 8,182 days. Or to put it simply, I am 22 years old. To start my story, we must begin with my mother's birth. On November 3rd, 1967, Mildred and Albert Stearns gave birth to my mother, Cindy Lynn Stearns, in Portage la Prairie, Manitoba. My mother had two older siblings, Corinne and Roger Stearns. In 1980, when she was 13 years old, she was put into a group home called Mary Booth in Calgary, Alberta. She lived there up until she was 17 when she met my father, Lindsay Allen Boe, who was born November 25th, 1962. 5 years later, November 25th, 1988, it's my father's 26th birthday. My mother is 21 years old. She gives birth to her first son. On May 11th, 1992, my mother gave birth to her second son, named Jarrett Allen Boe. 3 years after my brother's birth, my mother and father got a divorce. My mother got custody of my brother and I, and she began a new relationship with another man by the name of Byron Wick. This relationship brought about my two younger sisters, Kathleen Anna Marie Wick and Alina Emma Irene Wick. Every time I look at them, they remind me of my mother more and more. The day was August 25th of 1997, when my mother was in a car accident as she struck the pillar of this bridge, killing her instantly as she was not wearing a seatbelt. This was obviously one of the most traumatizing events of my life. After my mother's death, my sisters stayed with their dad, and my brother and I went to live with ours. 1998 wasn't much better. May 31st, just 20 days after my brother's 6th birthday, he was struck by a car in a playground zone. The man who hit my brother tried to sue for the damages done to his car. My brother won the lawsuit. There was no contest. Mildred, my grandmother, who was predeceased by my mother, died of cancer on June 18, 2004, with her daughter Corinne in Ontario. A strange coincidence is that in 2006, I ended up moving into the very same group home my mother lived in. Isn't that odd? My interests as a kid had always been cartoons, comics, and animation. In high school, I had gotten into computers and multimedia because traditional art classes were full. That same year, I started doing pixel art and stumbled across the online community Pixel Joint. I developed a few personas and nicknames through the time I was online, from Soli, Punky, Punky Penguin, and more recently I just go by the alias Bones. I have recently taken up the hobby of programming using GameMaker, and have gotten into conceptualizing and executing the ideas for games that I have. Since then, I have also been collaborating on video game projects as an artist with other people over the web. I never did finish high school, though I am now attending Alberta College of Art and Design for a Bachelor of Fine Arts. And in the last 2 years, I have exhibited my art into 3 group shows and 3 local galleries. On July 1st, 2010, I had my first solo exhibit. My father's mother, Yvonne Hoynes, and her husband, Jerry Hoynes, managed to make it down to my show. I have experienced some major hardships in my life already, and as an artist I get to express my voice, and as it turns out, I have a lot to say, and even more to live for.